Here we're talking about the TOEFL reading reference question. You will see these on every different reading passage, and we have available 4 tips and strategies for you to tackle this question successfully and get to the right answer. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Now, when you get this actual question on the test, you will have the whole reading passage available to you. For the sake of space and for this lesson, I've only pulled out the paragraph that has the word that we are looking at. So the way you'll know that you have reached this kind of question is when you see refers. Like we said, this is the reference question, so they're asking you the word blank in blank refers to, and then they give you some different answers to attach it to. What they're testing is that you're able to take a word and match it back to what it is referencing. A lot of times this will be a pronoun because pronouns' jobs are to reference previous words. So let's look at strategy number 1 for how we can tackle this kind of question. Strategy number 1 is to focus only on the necessary section and disregard the rest. Like I said, you will be able to see the whole reading passage for this kind of question, but you definitely will not need any more than the paragraph, and you won't even need that much. So looking at our sentence, we are marked kind of here in the middle. You might be in the middle, towards the beginning, or towards the end. No matter what, though, where that word is located gives you an idea of what you don't need. So we know we definitely don't need any of this information that comes after the word, right? These sentences are not going to give us an answer for what those is referencing. So we can cross all this out. Now, how much do we need before the word? For the most part, you'll really only need the one sentence before. Ideally, at this point in the test, you have read this passage at least once, so you know the main idea of the passage, and that's really all you need going into it, and sometimes not even that. So we know from previous readings that we're discussing Darwin, his theory of evolution, but that may or may not come to play in this specific question. For this question, what we need to look at is the sentence that contains the marked word and the sentence that comes before. So by doing this, we have now narrowed down our reading section for, as a result, through random mutation and genetic drift, over time, offspring develop new traits and characteristics. Over time, beneficial traits and characteristics that promote survival will be kept in the gene pool, while those that harm survival will be selected against. So we're looking for those, and this is the information we're pulling from. It's my advice to narrow this down the first thing that you do when you look at this kind of question. Don't waste time looking a whole lot at the rest of the reading passage. Use your precious time to focus only on the information that's necessary to find out what this word is referencing. So let's move on to strategy number 2. Strategy number 2 says define the word's purpose and its part of speech. So we know that those is a pronoun. It's also important to note that it is a plural pronoun, so it's going to be referencing something that's plural, and it is acting here as a subject in the second clause of the sentence. So we've got that information down. Let's move on to strategy number 3. Once you've gotten to this stage, you may be able to already answer the question, but you can definitely start to eliminate some of the incorrect answers. So what we would do is, knowing that those is a plural pronoun, we can now eliminate any answer choices that are not plural. Now, the great part about this question specifically is that, what do you notice? We only have one answer choice that is a plural answer choice, allowing us to eliminate A, B, and C. So this does sometimes happen on the exam, where you will find that they've given you a word to reference that you can match right away. Now, even if you are able to make this match and you feel confident to move on, I definitely still recommend proceeding with strategy number 4. So let's do that together. Strategy number 4 asks you to substitute remaining answer choices in the sentence. So if we had eliminated 2 answers here, then we would substitute the remaining 2 to make sure that they make sense. Just to show you how this would work, let's choose survival and the answer that we've chosen so far and see how they work in our sentence. Over time, beneficial traits and characteristics that promote survival will be kept in the gene pool, while survival that harms survival will be selected against. So we know that survival is definitely out. Let's try our tentative answer choice traits and characteristics. Over time, beneficial traits and characteristics that promote survival will be kept in the gene pool, while traits and characteristics that harm survival will be selected against. So there you go. We have been able to work through and answer our correct choice. And now if we look back to double check and make sure that it makes sense, you see that earlier on in the sentence we are talking about traits and characteristics, and it makes sense that you would use a pronoun to kind of restate that so you're not saying traits and characteristics twice in one sentence. So using these 4 strategies, we have successfully answered this kind of reading question. Remember, when you are reaching the reference question on the reading portion of the test, that you follow these 4 strategies. They're all pretty quickly done, as you can tell from the video today. Focus only on the necessary section, disregard the rest. Remember, you want to quickly get rid of any information that you do not need. Find the words purpose and part of speech. As you saw here today, that can sometimes answer your question right away. 3, eliminate incorrect choices. And 4, substitute remaining answer choices in the sentence. Even if you find the correct answer using only 1, 2, and 3, always substitute your answer choice in the sentence before you click submit. And that's all for the reference question strategies for this reading question type today.